Every year, there are over 3 million children abused and neglected, and that's in the United States alone. According to an article by Dr. Bruce Perry and Dr. John Marsalis, these unimaginable experiences can have detrimental consequences on a developing child. These include increasing risks for emotional, behavioral, academic, social, and physical problems throughout their entire life. Research suggests that child abuse directly causes or contributes to all types of mental illness because the abuse physically alters areas of the brain that affect mental health, and that the emotional effects of abuse lead to long-term psychological consequences. Today I will be sharing with you how child abuse has been found to physically alter parts of the brain, and I will be also discussing the emotional effects of child abuse and how they lead to long-term mental health issues. According to the publication, Understanding the Effects of Maltreatment on Brain Development, issued by the Child Welfare Information Gateway in 2015, new technologies in neuroimaging have helped in understanding brain development. With this, we are now able to see that child abuse physically alters areas of the brain that affect mental health. The Child Welfare Information Gateway 2015 provides 3 main areas of the brain that have shown reduced or decreased volume in individuals who have been abused or maltreated as children. The hippocampus, which is central to learning and memory. The cerebellum, which controls coordination and motor behavior and executive functioning. The orbitofrontal cortex, which is a part of the prefrontal cortex that is central to emotion and social regulation. Another area affected is the connectivity between the amygdala and the hippocampus. This disconnect can initiate development of anxiety and depression by late adolescence. Lastly, early emotional abuse or severe deprivation may permanently alter the brain's ability to use serotonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that helps produce feelings of well-being and emotional stability. As you can see, researchers have been able to medically prove that child abuse and maltreatment do indeed physically alter a developing brain. Many emotional effects of child abuse can lead to long-term mental health issues. The Child Welfare Information Gateway's 2013 publication entitled Long-Term Consequences of Child Abuse and Neglect states that when infants and young children are abused and neglected, the trauma negatively affects their attachments. Dr. Bruce Perry defines attachments as a bond that is an enduring emotional relationship with a specific person, which brings safety, comfort, and pleasure, and in which the loss or the threat of loss of this special person evokes intense distress. In Bonding and Attachment in Maltreated Children, Consequences of Emotional Neglect in Childhood, Perry writes that children without touch, stimulation, and nurturing can literally lose the capacity to form any meaningful relationships for the rest of their lives. One common behavior is indiscriminate attachment. With indiscriminate attachment, a child seeks attachments to anybody for safety. These behaviors contribute to the child's confusion about intimacy and are not consistent with normal social interactions. Dr. Arthur Becker Weidman stated in Child Abuse and Neglect, Effects on Child Development, Brain Development, and Interpersonal Relationships, 2012, that early abuse and neglect affect critical areas of development. These include emotion regulation, integrated sense of self, response flexibility, empathy and emotional connectedness with others, and conscious development. In closing, we have discussed the areas of the brain affected by child abuse and maltreatment, as well as how the emotional effects of abuse can lead to long-term issues, including future attachments. The longer a child lives in an abusive or neglectful environment, the harder it will be to convince the child's brain that the world can change. These children are in need of nurturing, stability, predictability, understanding, and support. And those things need to be given consistently, repeatedly and frequently to begin changing their viewpoint of the world around them. With this new information, we can better understand the cause and effect relationships of child abuse and mental health issues, which in turn will better prepare us to assist, train, teach, care for, and counsel abused children. Thank you.